So,
So,
this is where it all begins. Um, we are in the process of transitioning out of full time home ownership into the dream of going full time RV. Um, for those that don't know, um, my wife has actually had this laid on her heart from the Lord for quite a while now. How long has it been?
I don't know. Definitely several years. Our oldest daughter and I have had quite the obsession with the Tiny House series on Netflix and have tried to, I guess, draw you into that series and make you watch it. And I think it captivated us quite a bit more than it did you. You always said, "Oh, there's no way all of us can fit
No.
in there and make it work." And
So, we have a family of five. It's me, myself, Tyler, and my wife Heather, and we have three girls 10, 7, and 2 Phoenix, Maddox, and Tilly. So, kind of when God laid it on her heart and where I was, I had spent 6 years going back to school, working full time, getting degrees. So, career wise, I was just starting to kind of take off. And basically, she was saying, well, let's sell everything. And I was like, hold on, I just spent 6 years of my life getting this degree and that whole mindset of keeping up with the Joneses and getting the nice house and all the gadgets and I have to admit that's kind of what I was chasing and um, seeing in other people's lives and wanting the things they had and because we had spent so much of our marriage and our early relationship struggling and financially just trying to make it. So I felt like this was our time to finally get the things we've always wanted. And, I felt like I kind of deserved it because of working so hard. And God quickly helped me realize that we didn't really deserve anything. And after a long time of her, I'm sure praying very hard and just kind of poking me every once in a while these ideas of selling everything. We kind of came to this season, COVID happening, and just the environment of politics and what was going on, and
mentally, it was a lot.
yeah,
It's
and
been a lot.
we kind of just were drained, and I felt God kind of tugging on my heart and saying, you know, when all is said and done, what do you have to live for? And we'd always said that we wanted to travel.
We've always wanted to travel. We've been married for 12 years and we've probably taken half a dozen vacations, maybe a dozen vacations, but most of them were provided by one of our families.
Yeah, if they were bigger vacations, someone else was paying because we couldn't afford it.
So it was, for me, it was like I've been selling stuff on eBay for probably almost our entire marriage and just like getting supplemental income, just realizing like we don't always need all this stuff and
Mm.
hoping that we could like make this little nest egg or savings for vacations, but life happens and different things happen, and so we've never really been at a point where we can afford to like go stay at a hotel for a weekend somewhere and plane tickets or whatever. So to me, it always made sense to like go travel somewhere, but like have our hotel room or our, where we sleep with us, and we're not paying extra for it in that sense for every night we stay. So to me, it was like in order to make vacations work for our family, we would need to have our house with us in a sense. So
Yeah, I think we would always set that goal too of that retirement age, and once we get to that financially stable spot, that we were going to take all these trips and go see all these
what is
national.
financially
Well,
stable?
exactly.
I'm just curious.
But you just find that age getting pushed back and pushed back and pushed back, and you know what? It's there's no better time than now.
And we just started our fourth year of homeschooling, and it's something where we were already in the groove of before COVID. So our kids, when we said this idea to them or this thought, they were so excited. And I think the day after we like officially decided, after June 6th is when God laid it on his heart finally. And yes, I do know the date because it's the day before our anniversary, and it was a very exciting day. Anyways, on our anniversary, like, we got home from a trip to the beach that day. On the way home, he was like pumping gas and got back in the car and was like, all right, let's do it. And I was like, what are you talking about? Because we weren't even talking about it before we got out of the car to pump gas. And he's like, all right, let's sell everything and let's get an RV and let's travel. And I was like, what? Like, I don't even know if I gave the best reaction that you would have loved, or like, I don't know if you thought tears were just going to start streaming around my face, but I was so shocked because it was so random. Like I said, we weren't talking about it, so I was super caught off guard. But then we talked about it with the girls the rest of the drive home, and that it was either that day or the next day, they literally went through all of their clothes and got rid of so much stuff. And our girls love clothes. They love to be cute and dress up, and so that was a huge thing for them that I felt like, okay, the Lord's making this pretty clear with laying it on your heart, and then them being so excited, and with us already homeschooling, like I said, like, I felt like mostly all those little, the big things, like, we would never force our kids
all
to
the
do
telltale
this.
signs were lining up to confirming what God was saying. The funny part of us pumping gas was I had seen kind of a converted van that had, Patagonia stickers, and, they had completely gutted this thing out, and it just had mud and stuff all over it. And I saw the guy getting out, and he just looked so content. And I had this flash of, like, because we had just been on this vacation, the amount of joy and just quality time that I got to spend with my family, and what led up to that, of the work, grind, and you get this one weekend out of all of that. And I'm not saying, the Bible's very clear that, if a man doesn't work, he doesn't eat. We're definitely supposed to toil and make a living and provide for our families, but there's a way to do that and still experience life at the same time. There's got to be some balance. So I heard God very clearly say, you're unbalanced. There's a better way to do this life and really make it mean something. So that's why I hopped in the car and said, let's do it. So all that to say, we've only been in this house for 2 years. We've done a lot to it. No crazy updates or anything like that, but I feel like we've put our investment into it.
Painting all the cabinets in the kitchen.
Yeah, that was a big deal. But we got very fortunate. We bought a short sale at a very, very good price. The market's good right now, so that was another kind of something that lined up for us to confirm what God was doing. But we are day 4 of having the house listed. We've had a lot of showings, no offers yet, but we're just praying one day at a time. It's funny, we're actually starting this Experiencing God study right now, and just trying to really see how God fits into our everyday life, of what we're experiencing, the decisions that we're making, and really trusting and following God. It really talks about just taking it one day at a time, and so that's what we're doing. We're just trying to take one step, not get ahead of ourselves, and so we're just waiting for an offer. Once we get the offer, hopefully we'll close quickly, but we've got to buy a truck, we've got to buy a fifth wheel with a lot of that cash, and so there's a lot to lean on God for right now. This is kind of new to us, so if we seem a little awkward or nervous filming, this isn't kind of what we do.
But rambling.
Yeah. But after we posted on Facebook that this is what we were going to be doing, we had so many people, so many friends, wanting to see the journey, and it wasn't about how do we monetize this situation, but it was clear to me how cool to show God's favor, and how He provides every step of the way through this journey, and just being able to glorify Him through everything that we're doing. And so we just want to take that opportunity just for friends and whoever wants to follow along on what this journey means and how it ends up. So we're going to try and post every step of the way, and hope it's either exciting or interesting to watch.
Hopefully you stop saying so much. We already know some things we need to work on.
She loves me. Anyway, so this is kind of the intro video to our next steps, and so we'll post more, and hopefully you guys will be following along.